क्या आप भी ग्रेड 10 के स्टूडेंट हैं और सोच रहे हैं कि तैयारी आज से शुरू की जाए या फिर 15-20 दिन और आराम किया जाए, फिर तैयारी शुरू करेंगे आराम से। Study with study sheets today and try to stay ahead of the school syllabus. This will give you time to revise and to strengthen all the important concepts. So let's begin. In our previous lecture, we discussed about chemical equations and reactions and different types of chemical reactions. In this session, we are going to discuss about displacement reactions, which can be categorized into single and double displacement reaction, and oxidation and reduction reactions. Let's talk about displacement reaction. When a more reactive element displaces the less reactive element in a compound, we call it as displacement reaction. So there are two different kinds of displacement reactions: single displacement and double displacement. An element reacts with a compound and takes the place of another element in that compound. Like zinc, when reacts with CuSO4. So zinc being more reactive will combine with sulfate and form zinc sulfate, ZnSO4. And copper metal will separate. In the second example, you can see that iron is reacting with copper sulfate. ये दोनों आपस में react हो रहे हैं. Iron here is an element. Copper sulfate is a. So when these two react, iron gets combined with SO4 as it is more reactive than copper. Only a more reactive element can displace the less reactive. Right? A less reactive element cannot displace the more reactive element. And the compound which is formed will be FeSO4 plus copper. So whenever you write reactions, please develop a habit of writing the name of the elements and the name of the compounds below. Like here you can write zinc, copper, sulfate, zinc sulfate, and this is iron, copper sulfate, ferrous sulfate, and so this was single displacement reaction. What happened in double displacement reaction? Two different ions, या तो कोई दो ions होंगे या दो group of atoms होंगे. In the reactant molecules, they are displaced by each other. So here in this reaction, you can see that Na2 gets combined with Cl. इसके साथ ये combine हो गया, and what it has formed? Twice NaCl. In the same way, barium combines with sulfate group and form barium sulfate. So हमेशा उसके नीचे उस कंपाउंड के एलिमेंट का नाम लिखो. इसका नाम क्या है? सोडियम सल्फेट. And this is barium. This is barium sulfate plus sodium. I hope it is clear to you. अब देखो, इसमें this reaction can be identified as two different types. What are those two different types? One is double displacement reaction, and the another type of reaction is a precipitation reaction, because barium sulfate form is a precipitation. ये जो arrow है ना, this always show that this compound gets settled down as an insoluble mass, and that is why it's a precipitation reaction. So अगर ये reaction identification के पूछी जाती है, then you will be writing double displacement reaction as well as precipitation reaction. This is a very important part of this chapter. Okay, very important. इसमें से कोई एक और reaction पूछी जाता है. So if you don't know the precipitation reaction or precipitation reaction का demonstration देखना चाहते हो, तो मेरे आई बटन पर क्लिक करना, वहाँ से आप एक शॉट देख सकते हो जिसमें मैंने precipitation reaction explain किया है. So what is precipitation reaction? जहाँ दो aqueous solution के reaction से जो substance बनता है उसमें हमें क्या मिलता है? Insoluble solid mass. और ये तीन important reactions इस chapter की, जिसमें से कोई भी एक रिएक्शन पूछ ली जाती है. One is barium chloride सोडियम सल्फेट। तो इसके नीचे इसके हम नाम लिख लेते हैं बेरियम क्लोराइड, which is very very important. आप ऐसे नाम लिखोगे then you will be able to learn the names of these, और प्रैक्टिस करोगे then you will be able to know सारे के सारे कंपाउंड्स के नाम आपको याद हो जाएंगे। सो इस तरह से करने से प्रैक्टिस भी होगी और नाम भी कंपाउंड्स के सारे इजीली याद हो जाएंगे। द सेकंड वन इज सोडियम। ये जब आपस में रिएक्ट करते हैं तो ये बेरियम जो है सल्फेट के साथ कंबाइन हो जाता है एंड इट फॉर्म्स बेरियम सल्फेट। बेरियम सल्फेट gets settled at the bottom in the form of white precipitate, और इसीलिए डाउनवर्ड एरो से शो किया हुआ है बिकॉज़ इट्स अ प्रेसिपिटेट। जितने भी गैसेस होती हैं वो केमिकल रिएक्शन में जैसे H2 गैस है वो अपवर्ड एरो से शो की जाती है गैसेस, एंड जितने भी प्रेसिपिटेट्स होते हैं वो हम डाउनवर्ड एरो से शो। Another reaction is lead nitrate, देखो इसका फॉर्मूला PbNO3 called twice, so इसके नीचे लिख देते हैं lead nitrate। When it reacts with potassium ion, what it forms? Lead iodide, which is again a yellow solid। ये सारे जो कलर्स हैं you should learn them along with the name of the compound। So इसका नाम मैं यहाँ लिख देती हूँ lead iodide। ऐसे ही इसका नाम क्या हो जाएगा, ये जो 2K है ये NO3 के साथ रिएक्ट कर जाएगा and it's going to form twice KNO3। The name of this compound is potassium nitrate। See here that along with the precipitation reaction, double displacement is also taking place। ये सारी reactions में precipitation के साथ साथ double displacement भी हो रहा है। The third one is silver nitrate, इसका नाम लिखते हैं silver nitrate। It combines with sodium chloride, sodium chloride के साथ combine होता है, ये जो है उसके अंदर सब combine होता है और बनाता है silver and sodium nitrate। So this is the next type of reaction, redox reaction, or separately oxidation and reduction reactions। Redox reactions are the reactions where oxidation and reduction takes place simultaneously। Let's see first that what are oxidation reactions and what are reduction reactions। In any reaction, if there is a gain of oxygen or loss of hydrogen, then we call it as an oxidation। Copper when reacts with O2 forms copper oxide and that is blackened। Along with the reactions, it is very important in this chapter that you just notice the colors of the compounds formed or the reactants which are combined with each other। So here, just below this, I'll write the name of the element, oxygen, and when these two react in the presence of oxygen and heat, it forms copper oxide, which is black in color। The another reaction where hydrogen sulfide, the name of this compound is hydrogen sulfide। So when it reacts with oxygen, इसका जब reaction oxygen के साथ होता है तो हमें क्या मिलता है, A2 में A सल्फर अलग हो गया, सल्फर सेपरेट आउट हो जाता है and twice H2O जो hydrogen है that gets combined with the oxygen and forms twice H2O। इसके नीचे लिखते हैं sulfur and water। Let's see that what is happening in reduction। In case of reduction, there will be always gain of hydrogen or loss of oxygen। So यहाँ देखिए copper oxide when reacts with hydrogen, हाइड्रोजन के साथ जब रिएक्ट करता है तो क्या होता है, लॉस ऑफ ऑक्सीजन, और ये वापस से कॉपर मेटल में कन्वर्ट हो जाता है। along with the release of water. अब यहाँ ध्यान देने वाली बात यह है कि कॉपर ऑक्साइड का कलर क्या था, ब्लैक, and once it gets reduced it gets converted into brown. The other reaction is of potassium chlorate. इसका रिडक्शन जब होता है then what it forms potassium chloride and now let's quickly see one example of a redox reaction. Copper oxide is reacting with hydrogen forming copper and water. So यहाँ देखिए copper oxide जो है वो reduce होकर क्या बनता है copper. So here why are we saying reduction? क्योंकि यहाँ oxygen का loss होता है. H2 is gaining oxygen. तो यहाँ इसका क्या हो रहा है oxidation. So the reduction and oxidation they are taking place simultaneously. That's why we call it as redox reaction. Now there are more two more important terms: reducing agent and oxidizing. What are reducing agents? Which itself gets oxidized. अब इसमें हमें ये देखना है ऑक्सीडेशन हो रहा है किसका, हाइड्रोजन का यहाँ देखेंगे हाइड्रोजन का ऑक्सीडेशन हो रहा है because hydrogen is gaining oxygen. But ये कॉपर को क्या कर रहा है, रिड्यूस कर रहा है. That is why hydrogen over here is reducing. अगर इसको देखेंगे तो यहाँ एक कॉपर ऑक्साइड है, कॉपर ऑक्साइड रिड्यूस होकर क्या बना रहा है कॉपर, बट इट इज ऑक्सीडाइजिंग हाइड्रोजन, इट इज गिविंग ऑक्सीजन टू हाइड्रोजन एंड H2 is forming water and getting oxidized. So reduction जिसका भी होगा हमेशा क्या होगा ऑक्सीडाइजिंग एजेंट because it is itself it is getting reduced but it's oxidizing another. I have mentioned over here, reducing agent itself gets oxidized, the oxidizing agent itself gets reduced.